everybody? This is Dan God of Thunder. Welcome to the... I guess they're no longer doing numbered patch notes. I think they gave some sort of excuse. It's 6.2. The new Jormungandr. I'm going to mispronounce that in a variety of different ways. Don't bother leaving it in the comments. I'm not going to pay attention. As to how to pronounce the new god, I'm just going to call him Jorm. So he is the new god. He is a guardian, and too long. Not going to watch the rest of this. This guy's bullshit right now. His passive, immovable. Jormungandr is so large he cannot be affected by hard displacement. So that's going to be knock up. That's going to be knockback. That's going to be grabs, pulls, things like that. So instead he gets dazed. Dazed is a debuff on him that is a fading slow and increases how much damage he takes instead. Any attack speed past base? I don't know what that means. Any attack speed past his base. Oh, okay, never mind. His is separate. It's so I guess if he builds like rings or something like that, he just reduces. It's a faster cooldown on his basic attack. They don't mention it here. His basic attack is a cone that weakens over time. So that's gonna make basic abilities like demonic grip, things like that, very easy to apply. I don't know what else comes off of it. Hasten ring is gonna be very easy as well. Anyhow, so the big thing is that this cancels out a shitload of ultimates. Awilix's ult, Neja, Kumbhakarna, Arthur, a lot more I'm not remembering off the top of my head. But any god that Alquang cannot execute him, ever. Which is kind of funny, because he's supposed to be the Dragon King, and Jormungandr is just too big. Anything that involves a knock-up, or anything like that to initiate the ultimate, basically just doesn't work on him. So, that alone, he just negates, I think it's like 10 different gods he just destroys. So he's a hard counter, much in the same way Odin is, and we'll get to him. Bullshit. It's only 2 seconds. Venomous Haze is his first ability. It's his basic wave clear. It's a cloud that does 80 damage and persists for 20 seconds. Down to 12-second cooldown. Fairly long range. So this is a range 65 ability with a 15 cloud radius. So he can hit something longer than the ruler goes. So it's an 80 range. Pretty big. It slows as well, and it also fuels his next ability, Consuming Bellow. This is pretty good damage. It's not absolute BS, but it actually gives him really good aggressive wave clear and zone control at the same time. He can also have up to 9 of these on the field, and they will constantly do this tick damage, 5 to 45 plus 5% magical power, and a slow. But obviously when you can only do it for 12 seconds, it's hard to do. Consuming Bellow. He takes those toxic clouds, and after 1.2 seconds, he releases a tremor as slow and does a crap load of damage. 300 up to 360 isn't bad, and he also boosts his basic attacks. That's actually a pretty hefty boost. So that's actually pretty nice. Submerge. This is simultaneously kind of cool and kind of annoying. He goes underground, and he is able to see anything through walls, and he's also able to see invisible enemies. So if you're trying to, like, do a cheeky fire giant steal over the back wall or something like that, you're fucked. And he knocks up. Somehow he can get hit by enemy gods while invisible and underground, which doesn't make any sense, but I guess is a thing. And he takes damage, breaks the stealth, but he still gets the knock-up effect. So it's not a total loss unless you get poked out from long range, but you should be invisible, you shouldn't have that problem. His ultimate, holy shit, World Serpent. He basically just dives through multiple times. Every time he lands through to go in, he jumps up to go in, and it's pretty long range. And he does 350 plus 40% magical power. And whenever he pops back out of a hole or crashes through, because his body has a hitbox too, he does half that. He does this 3 times. So you can hit the same target and do 1,050 damage, plus 120% magical power, while you're hitting a ton of other stuff for pretty good damage. So 1050 plus 120, and you can aim it, and it's long range, and he's untargetable. Compare this to Ymir, who can max out at 1100 plus 150%, so it's 50 more damage base plus another 50 plus another 30% scaling. But you have to be stuck there for 3 seconds to do that, and they've got to be dumb enough to stay there. Jormungandr is untargetable. He cannot be hit while he is using this. I don't give a shit that the cooldown is ridiculously long. This is fucking broken. And he's leaving behind toxic clouds. So he is leaving behind 6 toxic clouds as a result of this, meaning he can just litter the fucking field with a he can just litter everything with a slow field that does damage over time. Also, this will proc Soul Reaver. This guy is going to need to get nerfed into the fucking ground. Just starting up here. Immovable. At a minimum, if he gets hit by an ultimate, this needs to be way more. This needs to be way more devastating. Like, 40% baiting over 4 seconds, plus 20% increased damage for up to 4 seconds. Like, or 20% damage for 4 seconds. Because you're trading out the ult. You need to do something more than this. This is nothing. I get it, like for like a Wukong Oxform to proc this, that's fine. Not for like a Neja knockup. Bullshit. I don't mind 9 clouds, but I don't... damage is okay. I don't like the range. This is super long range. Consuming Bellow's fine. Submerge. I don't like it seeing through walls, but this damage here is absolutely ridiculous. He can, if you just build magical power on him, like all you really need is like Gem of ISO and maybe Ethereal Staff, because you can just proc that so insanely easily. And just build tank after that, and you just won't be able to kill him. In between him being untargetable, in between him being invisible, you're just never going to kill this guy. I don't care how big his hitbox is, and it's big, yeah, but it doesn't matter. If you can't hit him, who cares? Godskin, don't care about that. Deserter penalties, so the time it's going to track your deserter penalties, much longer, but it's going to be a little more forgiving if like your ISP shits out on you and you just say, screw it. Which is fine. Bunch bugs. Totem of Ku is actually going to get a little bit weaker, which is good. There's certain things that we're hitting it that shouldn't have. This is the big problem where if it's gaining more health every time, like lots more, that's not good. I don't like 200 as the number. It should probably be like more like 125 is my opinion. After like the first like 5 or 6 iterations of Totem of Ku, it's no longer worth it. Unless you've got absolutely nothing to do, which you'll probably have something to do. Speed buff. I don't really like I don't understand why they did any of this. So these two are kind of tied together. 10 penetration is the most lackluster of all of the benefits, by the way. The extra in hand is way better than attack speed from the every other blessing just outstrips Assassin's Blessing. So I don't know why they thought that it's the power level of an evolved Assassin's Blessing compared to an unevolved Assassin's Blessing is large, more so than the other blessings. No. We want to bring it more in line with the reward for other blessings. So they moved 5% of your movement speed to it, off of the speed buff. I don't understand why. Like, speed buff now is really not even going to be worth getting in mid to late game. It's just not worth it other than the experience. Might as well just be an experience game now. Celestial Legion Helm, this was a really good source of cheap defense if you're a mage, because it gives you 60 power, and it gives you up to 90 physical defense, which they thought was too much, so it's going down to 75. And it's going to get price increase. The combination of the two, I think, kind of kills the item. I think you almost always will get Dynasty Plate Helm now. 20 MP5 is still kind of nice. It's not really nice enough to make it worth it. Get Dynasty Plate Helm now. It's really good. Elixir of Speed. I'm happy they did this. I kind of think that this is where it should be at its minimum, 1,500 gold. No one was buying it. The item's shit. It's still very problematic at 15, but unless they're willing to put a level cap or a timer cap, like you can't get it within the first 20 minutes of a game, Elixir of Speed's not that good. Because you'd have to sell off your boots, so you're going to get 1,100 back if you can buy Warrior's Ally, for example. So you have 400 in the hole, and you got to get another item to cover the loss of the 40 power. You got to get a tier 3 item for that if you're going to build power. Now you're looking at like minimum like 2,700 gold just to be comparable. By that point, you just get a physical power red pot. Spear of the Magus and Voidstone, they're basically becoming harder to buy, and they're giving you less penetration. So so it's going to be harder to punch through with magic tabs. This is bad, as we'll see in a little bit with God Balance. But Spear of the Magus was pretty cheap. I don't know if it needed the price increase of a fucking 150 gold and 10 magical penetration in a tanky lineup. Not that good. Voidstone. This is a nerf to like tanky mages and guardians, but I don't quite understand why they did this. I don't. Especially now that they've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, like 5 or 6 warriors now are better. One got nerfed. So they're basically just making everyone more unkillable. This is on top of already giving every warrior extra HP. Okay. Achilles is getting a minor buff up from 1 scaling up to now to 5 extra healing per hit off of Radiant Glory. Okay, not a big deal. I think Achilles was already pretty good, but I don't know why they're buffing him. And you're gonna hear me say it a lot. Bellona is getting more protection per stack while she's boxing. Again, I didn't think there was any problem with her. She wasn't the most popular solo lane, but I thought she was absolutely completely viable. Cucullin is now getting more HP. He's now getting an additional point of basic attack. And he's converting more mana regain and mana passive into HP. I thought Cucullin was great. I thought he was great as he was. Apparently not. And you'll notice that every single one of these changes is making people harder to fucking kill. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why, like, as a solo lane player mostly, I thought warriors were already crazy tanky. Fafnir, he's getting a buff. He is getting his his damage increase at low levels, scaling to the same place. Freya might be dead now. So Northern Lights now is going to get a very small power buff instead. But you get 5 shots of it. Now you've got to basically hit at least 4 of the 5 shots to get the same value, which is obviously harder to do and way slower. So the whoop 1, 2 dead combo, this is gone. They'll never be able to figure out how to make Freya interesting and at like that A+ range. Like, she's pretty bad right now. Aurora Blade's cheaper though. You can spam more bolts that don't do as much. Yay! Hachiman, 10 more damage at every rank. That wasn't his problem. This was never his problem. Okay. Hercules getting 10 more protections at every rank. Hercules is a god that either you can play against him where you can't, or you can play as him where you can't. The extra 10 physical prots, extra 10 prots of both, don't matter. Odin, they claimed on the peak, afterwards, Ajax said that We are now aware that Ring of Spears does nothing when you rank it up. Because previously it used to scale from 20% attack speed reduction to 60. Now it does nothing. It's the same thing, same cooldown, same duration, same effect, at every rank. How the fuck did you screw that up? And they didn't mention this in patch notes, that they're going to give him something else. They didn't say that. So they did not know, when they were announcing this, that Odin's ultimate no longer matters when you rank it up. At level 16, his 17, 18, 19, 20 level ups don't matter. Except to give him some more HP. There are plenty of gods in this game that don't really give you a lot of benefit. Like Thor, for example, is a great example where leveling up his ultimate is kind of a waste of time because you only get 50 more damage per level, but it's a something. Odin now gets a nothing on his ultimate. It's one state, that's it, and it boggles my mind that the people that make this game didn't realize that. They didn't. They couldn't have. They didn't say in the patch notes, go back and look, oh, we know that this is the state he's in now, we're coming up with something, we don't have it yet, it's going to be in the PTS. No, hour and a half later, they had to say on Twitter, we're aware of this, we're going to do a thing. We're not going to say what the thing is yet, but we're going to do a thing. So, no longer gives a 20 to 60% attack speed slow. I don't know. What I think they should do is they should give Odin between 5 to 25 scaling of power and protections while he is in the cage. Not his team, just him. So that way he's a bigger threat to his opponents in the cage, so he can use it as a one-on-one dueling tool more effectively. I think that's a really cool idea. Sobek, apparently he needed a buff. He's now going to be super tanky at the start, and he's going to have 100 more HP at level 20. If you weren't playing Sobek in the solo lane, you probably should. He's really good. Sylvanas. He is now going to have an increased projectile speed, so he's healing and damaging people with his wisps a lot more. He gets an additional tick, and those happen faster. I thought he was fine. Tyr is now going to be tankier. 3 physical protection at level 1, and he's going to get between 15 and 75 more healing with his 2 in defense stance. Okay. At one point he was getting up to 420 healing, and they realized, oh shit, that's fucking broken. Now he's at 390. Okay. You'll notice that every single one of those changes, except for the Odin, and 1 point of offense for Kirkullen, was to make people more unkillable. Vamana. Now he collides with players, so he can box people in. They claim this is a nerf. Now, if a Vamana's in front of you, you gotta run away from him. And he's probably got Frostbound Hammer or Hasten Katana, so he can just run and catch up with you. Have fun. That was a 6.2, or whatever they're not calling it now. I don't understand why they thought warriors weren't tanky, and why they wanted to make it harder to kill them. Like, that's the theme of this patch. Everything here, Jormungandr is fucking broken. Like, his numbers are fucking insane. 350, 175 is ridiculous. If he comes out as, like, one of the strongest releases in Smite's history, it wouldn't surprise me. But, anyway. I've been Dan God of Thunder. There's a link to my Twitch. There's a link to my Twitter down below. Make sure you follow me on those. Also hit me up on on my Discord server. Either way, I will see you all next time. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see. I'm going to start doing a little bit more YouTube stuff. Either way, take care, and I'll see you all around.